Do you know why native speakers never say, I go to school, but you might? Because English has these annoying things called irregular verbs. And today, I'm going to teach you the 30 most common ones. Stick with me until the end, because I've got a super simple trick to help you remember them all. Let's go. Okay, so first, what's an irregular verb? Normally, to make past tense, we just add ed. Walk becomes walked. Play becomes played. Easy, right? But some verbs don't follow this rule. They change completely. And guess what? The most common verbs in English are usually irregular. That's just how English decided to be difficult. Let's start with the verb to be. This is the most important verb in English. I am becomes I was. You are becomes you were. Next, to go. I go to work every day, but yesterday I went to work. Not goed, went. Let's group some verbs together because that makes them easier to remember. First group, verbs that change one vowel sound. Listen to this pattern. Sing becomes sang. Drink becomes drank. Swim becomes swam. Begin becomes began. Do you hear that pattern? The I sound changes to an A sound. So if I say, I drink coffee every morning, but yesterday, I drank coffee with my friend. Here's another group. Verbs where the past tense sounds exactly like the base verb, but spelled differently or sometimes the same. Put stays put. Cut stays cut. Hit stays hit. Cost stays cost. For example, yesterday, I cut my finger while cooking. Same word, past tense. Nice and easy, right? Now let's look at some really common ones you'll use every day. Have becomes had. I have a car becomes I had a car last year. Do becomes did. I do my homework becomes I did my homework yesterday. Say becomes said. Make becomes made. Take becomes took. Come becomes came. Give becomes gave. See becomes saw. Know becomes knew. Get eat becomes got. Let's practice a few sentences together. Repeat after me if you can. I saw a great movie last night. She gave me a birthday present. We took a taxi to the airport. Great job. Here are more verbs from our top 30 list. Think becomes thought. Buy becomes bought. Bring becomes brought. Teach becomes taught. Catch becomes caught. Notice something? Many of these end in ought or ought. That's another pattern that can help your memory. Let's continue. Find becomes found. Feel becomes felt. Leave becomes left. Meet becomes met. Sleep becomes slept. Keep becomes kept. For example, I found my keys under the couch. Or, we met at a coffee shop last week. Here are a few more common ones. Write becomes wrote. Speak becomes spoke. Break becomes broke. Choose becomes chose. Drive becomes drove. Ride becomes rode. These all follow a similar sound pattern too, where the vowel changes to O. And finally, let's finish with these useful verbs. Run becomes ran. Fall becomes fell. Stand becomes stood. Understand becomes understood. Tell becomes told. Sell becomes sold. Hear becomes heard. Read stays read, but we pronounce it differently. I read a book every night, but yesterday I read a really good book. Same spelling, different sound. Okay, that's 30 verbs. I know that's a lot of information. So here's my tip. Don't try to memorize all 30 today. Instead, pick 5 verbs and use them in real sentences about your own life. For example, think about what you did yesterday. Yesterday, I woke up at 7. I ate breakfast. I went to work. I saw my friend. I came home late. See how natural that sounds? Here's your practice exercise. Pause the video right now and write 3 sentences about your day yesterday using irregular verbs from this lesson. Put them in the comments below. I'll read some of them and give you feedback. Remember, these 30 verbs cover a huge part of everyday English conversation. Learn them well, and you'll immediately sound more fluent and confident. Practice a little every day, and don't worry about mistakes. Even native speakers mix these up sometimes. If you found this helpful, subscribe for daily English lessons.